Hey guys, so behind me I have the 2017 Volvo XC60 T6 inscription. The old model, not the new model. Have still not got my hands on the new car, but hopefully during the summer I'll get hold of the new model for you guys to see. But for now, we have the old model. Let's go ahead and check out the worst and best things about the 2017 Volvo T6 inscription. I want to start by talking about the XC60's exterior styling. Even though it's a 9-year-old design, it got a facelift a few years ago, making the front look more elegant, more timeless. And I think it's a really classy, really smart looking compact SUV. The proportions are really nice, and details like this chrome strip on the side, these 20-inch contemporary wheels make this still look good in my opinion, even though it's a 9-year-old car. And these wheels, these 20-inch wheels, are actually the same wheel design you get on the new XC60 inscription. So a real cool detail, making this car still look modern, still look cool. And the rear of this car is one of the best looking angles in my opinion. I just like the way it looks, the exterior styling. It's timeless, it's modern, and it's cool. So let's move over to the interior to show you guys some stuff. So let's start with the seats. The seats are one of the best things about this XC60. They have really good bolstering and are really comfortable and really supportive. I've said it before, journalists have said it before, but Volvo seats are one of the best in the business, and in this car, that's no exception. Power adjustable, superb. Let's move it just a bit back before I step in here, because I want to show you guys one of the worst things about this XC60, and that is the lack of storage in the center console. Sure, you have this storage thing behind here, which is pretty much useless because it's hard to reach and you can't see what you have stored back there. And then you have these pathetic cup holders which don't fit anything other than large drive-through sodas. You can't put your phone anywhere. This is curved, so... And then you have the center armrest here, which also is quite tiny, and you don't even have a armrest. This is too low, too far back, so the storage in this car, it's really poor, especially next to the XC90 and the 90 series Volvos. The storage bins in the doors are also on the small side. This is hollow, so you can't store anything here. On the XC90 you can, so really lacking in the interior storage compartment, which is really disappointing actually, because the rest of the interior is really well put together and really nice looking, of really high quality. Let's go ahead and start up the car, get on the road. I'll show you guys more good stuff and bad stuff about this XC60.
Inside lane, missing exits, glued to the pavement. Between the lines, I'll keep my gaze straight ahead as the last stop flies by. No more waiting for the gun to fire, no more walking through revolving doors. I've gone around once, I don't need to go around anymore.
So on a back street here with a lot of speed bumps, and that's one of the best things about this car, is the comfort. The suspension tuning is just superb. Quick over a speed bump, super comfortable. The damping, the refinement, the suppleness of this suspension is just superb and amazing. Really impressive stuff. I'm really amazed of this 9-year-old platform that they've made the ride as good as done in this car. Pulling off to a parking lot here, one of the weaknesses of this car becomes very apparent when trying to turn around, and that is the poor turning radius, especially for this size of a car. Yeah, sure, we managed to turn here, but the turning radius for being such a compact car is worse, much worse than in the XC90. So one of the worst things, if you live in a small city with small streets and turning radius is something that's important for you, don't get this car because you'll be really disappointed there. And I missed a turn. I have to do a 3-point turn here to just get out of this parking lot. So at a stoplight, and one of the worst things about this car is the transmission tuning in city driving. But start stop has its own button. Thank God, Volvo. Thank you for putting a dedicated start stop turn off button, because I hate start stop. But back to my point. The tuning of the transmission in city driving in this car is terrible. Pulling away from a junction, the transmission is so unpredictable. Will it jump forward? Will it wait half a second before even reacting? Nobody knows. As there, it waited half a second, and when I pulled from a start before, it lurched and jumped forward. So the randomness of how the transmission behaves is one of the worst things, and that's when pulling away from a junction, from a standstill, or coming to a stop from motion. Both are equally as bad, so I have no idea why this transmission is tuned that way. I have not had that issue in any other Volvo I've driven in recent years. But once on the move though, this T6 engine is one of the best things about this car, because it's really powerful and really quick, pulls really strong, high in the rev range, and has really good torque down low and in the mid range. So this engine is one of the best things about this car. The infotainment system on this car is actually really easy to use, though it might look old-fashioned compared to a modern touchscreen, but it's actually really easy to use. Media, navigation, my car, shortcuts everywhere. You have the menu button here, scroll wheel which scrolls the right way, talking to you Audi. Really easy to use, but what makes it look really old-fashioned is the size of the screen, and that's one of the worst things about this car. I mean, if they just put a larger screen for this navigation system, it would be fine, and it's fine in isolation, but compared to modern cars, this is one of the smallest screens I've ever seen. And then you have the backup camera, put it in reverse, which is actually of really poor resolution. And you have the parking sensors taking up valuable real estate on the right side there. So the screen solution, not the best, but the navigation system actually and the multimedia system here is actually really good and passable. Let's go outside for a bit and go back, show you one of the best things about this car, and that is the trunk space. So this trunk is actually really big, really large for being a compact SUV. There you can see my tripod placed in the middle there. Really large trunk, really wide opening. One of the coolest things about this XC60 is the digital gauge cluster. It's not the best out there, it's not the biggest out there, but it's actually really cool and a really cool addition to this car. It does have turn-by-turn navigation in the center here, does not have map view, but only a handful of digital gauge clusters actually do have map view on the market today. But all in all, a really cool digital gauge cluster, I do think. So there we have it, guys, the best and worst things about the old 2017 Volvo XC60. Not the most serious video, just a fun video, so hope you guys liked it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below, and for more car content, please subscribe. See you guys later, and goodbye.
Inside lane, missing exits, glued to the pavement. Between the lines, I'll keep my gaze straight ahead as the last stop flies by. No more waiting for the gun to fire, no more walking through revolving doors. I've gone around